Alright, hey guys, so welcome back. This is going to be part 2. I went ahead and cut the video in half because it's really long. The process does take a while. A lot of videos are unrealistic. They don't tell you how long things will be. The overall design probably took me like 6 hours between back and forth getting the client's specifications he wanted for how he wanted things to look. Obviously this is more about looks than design, but even then he didn't want me to do anything fancy panel fabrication or anything like that. So anyways, I said it a couple times already, I'm not a fan of hot rods, but it's nice to see these cars at SEMA and be a part of the entire industry. And if that's something you want to get into, just pay attention to what's coming up in my future videos. Again, thank you for subscribing. Hit the like button, drop me a comment if you have any questions. I appreciate all your support. So it's raining here in Vegas and I decided to bring everything inside. This is the piece that I used to shape out the back of a classic Corvette. I don't know the year right now. It's the year with the split window. If you see, I got a bunch of little pieces added because I want to make sure that my initial cutout fit, and it obviously didn't, but this is a temporary piece. So the next question is how do you get this shape to actually get traced out onto a piece of wood or something like that? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab this guy. Now, I don't know if anyone's seen one of these. Okay, this was purchased from Mobile Solutions, which a lot of us use. Brian Schmidt is a fantastic guy. He's always helpful. He's obviously a veteran. This thing here will help you get your shape. Okay? And then what you do is you make this piece basically your hard surface, and then you're going to route out along this piece here. So they try to sell you on a square bearing that rides on these, but this guy here is going to give me the ability to create these awkward shapes, because obviously there's no template for what I'm making here. And then I'm gonna make a simple enclosure which will go behind this piece. Hey everybody, good morning. I just wanted to make sure to get a decent angle on things here. This is the piece I shaped out for, I think it's a 57 Corvette. This is the back portion that they want to have a faux piece made, and then they're just gonna carpet it. They don't want me to do any panel build. They don't want me to make anything look dimensional in any kind of way. Other channels, you're not going to hear about customers turning you down because they can't afford this kind of stuff. So again, it's fun if you can get the work, but if you can't get the work, you get them started usually and work your way up. So just to let everybody know, hours wise, and something else you don't hear in a lot of other guys' videos.
2 hours later.
It took me about 2 hours just to get this piece right, and you can see I added little bits of pieces everywhere just so I can get this to fit in the back the way I wanted. Mainly because the carpet took up extra space and I had to make adjustments for the carpet and stuff, and do everything I can to make sure it fits. Now this piece of wood I have doesn't completely fit my cardboard here, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my my squiggly stick that adjusts, and I'm going to make these lines here, and that way I'll have a rough cutout piece and get this all rolling. So stay tuned. Okay everybody, so you can see that I had to add a piece here, so I did some CA glue, added on the corner. It's stiff enough to cut. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna get my magic bendy stick, and I'm gonna make this shape, and then we're gonna go ahead and route it out. So I'll try to get that on for everybody. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and make a whole lot of noise, but you can see I set my bit to right along this. I use template tape. Bits come from Mobile Solutions, and this router table's Bosch. You can buy it at like Lowe's. Gives you a vacuum box. I don't do this very often enough to have all the fancy fabrication kitchen style stuff that everyone's doing, so this works just fine. If you need a gigantic surface for bigger pieces, you can always build a table over this or into it and put the box underneath and stuff. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and make this pass, and it's going to give me my straight flat line here, so I have my bottom piece. This is my final piece. I added wood here for strength. The reason for this being flexible is I'm going to have to press it into the position that I'm going to be using it in. This will be the front piece. It's going to get carpet. The main template I had already put together. You saw that I had used the adjustable curve to create this, and obviously my camera decided it was going to run out of memory, so I didn't get to record all of that for you guys, but you saw how I used the template tape off the big piece that I created, and now I have this. The enclosure from the design, 50 hertz, little teeny box, a little bit of polyfill. It's just deep enough. I'm not going to carpet it as far as I know right now, but notched it out so I can actually have something to drag a razor into if I'm going to carpet this and make sure it's all tucked nice and everything. This is going to be behind this. The subwoofer is going to be firing towards the back. So these are the completed pieces. Again, all these tools can be found on Mobile Solutions' website. They have a catalog. I was fortunate enough to see them while they were in Vegas for SEMA. Picked up some new stuff. I actually had a lot of my own pieces that I have made through the years while I've been doing this, and somehow they got broken. So I just went ahead and dumped some more money into Brian. So Brian, thanks a lot for giving me some help at the show and some great deals. I look forward to a new tool coming soon. Also, if everyone was watching, they noticed that while I was routing, the dust was blowing everywhere, so I'm probably going to have to fabricate a little vacuum thing or something. The table box is a little bigger than most dust collection boxes that people use for their routers, so it didn't pull everything in. The cardboard, not a big fan of it. The router just kind of throws it everywhere and it binds up, and I had to sand it to make sure the edges looked legit, but it did make the template I wanted. So I'll keep you guys posted. We're gonna keep going with this video. I'm gonna put this stuff into the vehicle and show how it fits and stuff. I'm combining two different cameras based on where I'm at. So again, I'm mobile, so everything's on location. I usually take stuff back and then I fit it back into the vehicle. This particular person is Whiskey's Auto Distillery here in Las Vegas. They've been turning out fantastic vehicles. It's been an honor to kind of be over there and work around these nice vehicles that they're doing. Whiskey is more focused on looks than he is the actual sound quality. I'm not a huge fan on hot rods because the engines are louder than they're actually, the stereo system can play over that. So having really high fidelity is not really critical, but making it look somewhat decent is, and that's exactly what I'm doing for them here. So stay tuned, and I'm gonna keep you guys posted on the next steps. Hey everybody, I'm just going over the enclosure today. I was asked to make some adjustments, which I knew were coming for this particular little teeny box. So what I did is picked up a few things. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this, and I'm gonna show everybody exactly what you're looking for. Picked up some felt from a local fabric store. This is good interior glue that comes out of a can. You do not want to use 3M, Super 33 and all that stuff. It doesn't stick very well. It's not very tacky stuff. So I'm going to use this. I don't have a compressor here. I do have weldwood, which I usually use and highly recommend. You definitely want to use good glue when you're doing things like these enclosures, or if you're doing headliners or anything upholstery that, you know, obviously you want to do professionally. So you can see here when I built the box, hopefully the camera got it, I routed some grooves in here. Now this groove's a little bit heavier than I usually would use, but this allows you to trace out your material here. So what it is, you also want to make sure you have a sharp knife. You don't want to have a dull ass knife. It allows you to trace the material out and have a nice clean cutout, and that way you don't have any issues wrapping your enclosure and having to worry about cross patterns and stuff like that. There's a lot of guys doing that on YouTube, just showing people in general, you know, how to do the different layover patterns and stuff for crazy enclosure boxes. But this is one way to do it. Another way is you can countersink this if you're willing to take up some of your airspace, and you just kind of recess this end piece, and then it gives you also the edge to drag things along here. But I decided to do it this way just to show people exactly what it is that we're going to be doing with the material here with this little shave out. So this particular enclosure has to rest a goofy way inside the vehicle. So I actually designed it to sit at an angle, and this gives the subwoofer some standoff, so that when we have it all set up and said and done, it's not leaning on the woofer itself and allowing the woofer to bounce off of things. So again, this will be mounted and stuff. Hopefully I get to show everybody that at some point. When you get customers that they're into particular things, you have to let them know that you only have so many hours you want to dedicate to something. When they have particularities about the angles and the materials and the enclosure's airspace, and so a lot of guys will contact you thinking they know more than you, and a lot of times it's just best not to do work for people like that. So I've already got
6.5 hours later.
I don't know, 700 million hours working on this again, and it's really not super worth it, but because it's a reputable shop here in Vegas, I want to make an impression, so I'm going to do this for him. Hopefully he likes it. Again, this is not anything that I usually prefer doing for high-end vehicle enclosures and stuff like that, but this does give me an example for everyone watching on how to wrap this. So I'm going to go ahead and set the camera back and make sure I got a good angle on the table here, and then I'm going to go ahead and wrap this enclosure, okay? Alright, so when you're starting to wrap an enclosure, you want to think about it as if you're folding it so many times. So I'm going to fold it onto the glue, turn it, etc. You can see that I have this so that the material is in the middle of this piece here. And the reason for that is when I finally get to folding it over, I'm going to show everybody how to drag a clean line, blend everything together. So let's go ahead and spray some glue, bitch. I'm on this piece. So if it's a square, rectangular box, whatever, I usually just keep on rolling it onto its angles. But when you get something funny like this, you want to pull your material up, and obviously you want to go around whatever this piece is that you have here. Okay, now we're going to take the material and just go ahead and fold it over. And what's good is you can tighten things up as you work with this. If you buy a very expensive felt carpeting, it's not going to be as forgiving. So now we're just going to go ahead and pull this. Alright. So obviously this is going to be a little awkward, so we're going to do it on the crazy angle that it's designed to hold. Okay. I'll go ahead and slide you guys down so you go ahead and continue folding this.
And in stores on Thanksgiving Day at 6 p.m. local time. Save money, live better with Walmart. You could swipe right to date this guy.
You can see how I lift the material kind of loose because I want to be able to pull it into that seam. Okay.
Small fry, small drink. Limited time only. Price of participation may vary.
A message from Homestead.
Walmart Bank took advantage of millions of Americans during the recession. So my wife Kat and I took action. We started a non-profit community bank with a simple theory.
Again, why being organized is important. Here's the panel tools I went over in one of my tool videos. Just go ahead and use this. You have a nice piece you can ride along here, so I can push right into this. Alright guys, we're back in action. Okay, you can see the line on the two pieces here. Alright, you want to make this apparent for yourself. You're going to go ahead and take something. I don't give a crap what it is as long as it is a straight edge. Clean is usually a good idea. Yeah, boy. Alright. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your knife and you're going to follow the straight piece. Now don't be too crazy about this. Alright. That is going to be your main piece there. Go ahead and take my fancy tool out of the way. So you can see I folded it over the material a few times. So what you're going to do, take your knife. Alright, you're going to find your cut and you're just going to pull that towards you. Okay, same thing on this side. You're going to go ahead and find your cut and just pull it towards you. Generally with knives, you want to cut away from you. So please be careful when you're using utility knives and stuff, guys. They're great tools, but not fun toys to get cut with. So you're gonna carefully peel this back, okay? And I say carefully because felt easily stretches. Again, that's why the material is so easy to work with. So now you're going to tuck your felt in to that line. Alright, now interior guys will tell you, you know, they got like rubber pulley tools and all kinds of cool stuff to bring stuff together like this. So you kind of want to massage your line in, try to make it look as clean as you can. If you get any glue on your material, you can take some acetone, grab a piece of your felt, and you can kind of smooth it in and clean at the same time. And that's gonna blend this whole thing together so it looks more seamless, okay? And that is exactly how you bring two pieces together. So I'm gonna go ahead and move my felt out from underneath here for another day. Another project, all nice and dirty. Go ahead and throw that up there for now. Alright. So, on to the sides. Now you guys remember I was talking about that seam on the sides. So, this has this funny little leg here. You just want to pull your material so it'll rest around this piece as best as you can get it. Fortunately, I don't have any secrets for that piece. So, you're gonna go ahead and find your line on the routed edge, okay? And you're gonna get your knife, feel it out, and you can drag your knife right along that edge. And now you have a piece that you can tuck in there. Okay? See that? Nice and clean. Okay, I got this goofy corner I gotta deal with now. I might be able to clean this up. We'll see how good I am. Okay. So the other thing, you can peel your box back. Grab some more of your glue. Start gluing this up here. See if you can spray both pieces at one time. You guys will notice that end pieces on MDF soak up glue, and that's why it's kind of nice to have a bottle like this with this particular tip, because you can spray in a line and kind of saturate it. Otherwise, it doesn't usually get very sticky. So I'm gonna go ahead and spray this center piece now. That way I don't get any glue on my material. Try not to bore everybody to death. Wrapping enclosures is not fun. It's why I didn't get into upholstery. A lot of upholstery guys probably run circles around me. I'm okay with that. you some cutting tricks here. Drag it in my line. So another thing you can do with this extra material is you can cut it out of your way, as long as you know where your next piece and stuff is going to be. Okay. Alright. And you can always just come up. This is why I really should have done something different as far as how I laid the box, but it's already done. So these corners, you can kind of fold them like a Christmas gift. Pull your blade through, alright, and just pull your little excessive pieces out. Alright, that gives you a nice clean corner. This one's going to be a pain in my ass, but not too much I can't handle. Alright, so we're going to cut this material. Just cut out your excess. Okay. Pull your little shitty pieces out. And there you go. So as you can see, I got glue on my felt from my hands. Not liking that very much. So over here we got a few different random cuts. Just go ahead and pull some slack into your felt and bring that seam together real nice. Okay. Gotta find my groove. Pulling that out. Alright guys, I hope everybody can see this part before my camera dies. This is my leftover piece. That's why you don't want to throw your materials out. Okay. We're just going to go ahead and hit this with some glue.
Left his business in 2012 and signed the Giving Pledge, a promise to give away the majority of his money to good causes. He was an early opponent of the Keystone Pipeline and launched one of the largest democratic grassroots environmental advocacy groups. He also rallied 8 million Americans to call for the...
The trick to this is you want to try and ride the same edge when you're cutting all of this out, okay? So for me, it was the inside edge. Okay. Pull your material out. Ta-da! So what you can do is you can take your tool, you can pull your material, or you can just peel it up. Pull your material. Okay, and you have this whole seam to tuck into here. Alright. Nice clean tuck. hide everything. Grab some acetone out of the area of crap I have. Of course, I'm not finding it right now. There it is. Sorry guys, I'm 35 and I'm blind from looking at electronics for so many years. Okay, so take your felt and go ahead and rub all your excess glue and all the goober off all your stuff here. And this will keep everything clean. Alright, and I'm going to go ahead and do the other side. And this box is done. Alright guys, here it is, all said and done, all wrapped up. Simple sealed enclosure. Nice little lean, gangster lean, so it can sit in the back of the vehicle the way it's supposed to. I'll keep everyone updated. Alright, thanks for watching. Alright guys, that was it as far as the end of part 2. Hopefully that was helpful. It was a very basic starting enclosure design. That's kind of why I wanted to show everybody. Hopefully the first half showed you how we went from designing everything on the computer to making it a reality. And I'm hoping to do a part 3. I'm still waiting to hear back from the custom shops upholstery person who has supposedly going to carpet the front fascia piece that I created to perfectly tuck into the back of that Corvette. It's a beautiful car and I look forward to showing it to you guys. So again, thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next video.